Oh shit!
Oh shit!
What? Comics Plus, what is going on? My name is Akasan.
Hey, it's Marta.
All right, Shingeki no Kyojin now exclusively in an all new studio here.
Yeah.
Shout outs to KR Presents for making that conceivable, and shout outs to green screens as well. So that's not a company. No, we literally had to pay for this. We paid for it, but
Yeah.
whatever keeps us from getting copyright strikes and makes things a little more interesting. Hope you guys like it. So yeah, maybe we'll try to find some other cool backgrounds in the future. I was trying to find like a Dutch inspired, like Shingeki no Kyojin type of Attack on Titan type of
like
Dutch inspired, but then these motherfuckers ain't got no TV, so it's like what was I gonna do? Put the program in a fireplace or something like that? You know, like I didn't know what I could have done with that other than possibly the wall, like, you know, the wall backdrop instead or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, like there's nothing like that. So we'll see, you know, because I was even thinking if we do actually do Demon Slayer and as time goes by, even they don't have TVs back then, so it's like,
that's right.
Yeah, there's the entertainment industry of Asakusa, which I used to live, but yeah, they ain't got no TVs.
Wasn't that kind of entertainment?
Nope, not
It was
at
a different
all.
kind of
I mean,
entertainment.
yeah, they didn't even have Manzai, so which nobody knows what that is.
I don't know what that is.
It's okay. Yeah. Japanese jokes, I guess. Yeah. Speaking of which, what's very interesting for some of you guys that may, depending upon how you actually watch Attack on Titan, the version we watch, I think the Crunchyroll version that we watched, particularly interesting that with Zeke, right before Zeke is about to scream, he looks at, his name is Falco, right? The little boy, or Parco or Falco? Little boy that drank his spinal fluid.
That's Harold.
Okay, is it? Okay. And so he looks at him and he's just like, you know, Dakara. He goes, Dakara Zanin, like that. And now our version had the more correct translation, was like, and that's why it's a shame, because Zanin in Japanese basically means like too bad, or it's a shame, or something like that. So our translation was more correct. But then I was rewatching that episode last night on Netflix, and interesting enough, Zeke says that's why I'm sorry instead. And I was like, that was kind of weird, but that, like, I was so surprised that was like the official translation for Netflix, at least Netflix Japan. So if anybody out there is watching, can check the Netflix American account, let me know what he says, because
or maybe a different country in English too. How are they translating it in different parts of the world? UK, or maybe, you know,
I don't know,
another European country.
I can't imagine the UK version. That's why it's quite the shame. Then that'd be like Australian version, like that's too bad. Ziggy, I don't even know. I shouldn't have gone there, but I did, and I failed miserably at what I think a UK translation would be for "It's a Shame."
What would be "It's a shame"?
Are you taking a piss? Yeah.
Sorry, old chap.
There you go. Sorry, old chap. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the biscuit crumbles. Okay. This is terrible. This is terrible. It reminds me of that PlayStation thing where people are like coming up with a gun, where people were stealing PlayStations, and how somebody robbed somebody for a PlayStation with an old 1940 gun or something like that. He was like, all right, old chap, then I'll just be taking that. Like, so many British people were getting so mad. They were like, is this the way you guys seriously think that British people speak? Alrighty-o then. It was so dumb. So, all right. Anyways, other than that, it's time for Shingeki in game here.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm
Time
so
to do
excited.
some Tony Stark time traveling or something like that. I think
it has to be.
We're going through like memory lane, I guess. Like, I
hope so. I hope we get some memories we've never seen before, especially ones from maybe like some of the past kings and past.
That'd be interesting.
Whatchamacallit, founding titans. That would be really cool.
That'd be now interesting enough. Like, so it's funny that because you kind of mentioned that, like how Zeke was not bound by royal thought process or royal blood. Now, I didn't really actually think that deep into it, other than the fact that I just thought it was a mental situation. But I was rewatching the because so last week's episode was actually considered was actually one of the greatest rated TV episodes in television history, actually. Like Breaking Bad.
What?
Yeah, Breaking Bad I think ranks like the osmosis, like that's considered to be the best television episode in modern time. But Attack on Titan is right up there with 3 other episodes, and so Two Brothers was actually last week's episode was actually way up there as well. So yeah,
wow,
it was that good. Like I don't know what WB is talking about with Peacemaker being like the most watched show consider around the world, considering HBO Max isn't even available or overseas in most places. But apparently that Attack on Titan episode was ranked really, really high. So and I agree, rightfully so. That was a huge episode. Now what I was going to say was I was rewatching the Declaration of War episode where Willie Tiber is up here giving the history of the King Fritz and all that.
Is that during the that's during the
performance and actually that was an actual like Creed situation. That was an actual like using magic renouncing war. Like, so that was like they actually programmed following kings to follow that creed of renouncing war. Like
so that's why
they can't they can't go against it. Actually, that's so interesting.
That's why I thought like there has to be some sort of really strong influence on Eren from all of these this accumulation of memories. He has so many titans in his brain that like just based off the precedent that we saw with I'm drawing a blank on names. The other one that went bananas, the other Titan who went crazy because he had all the invasive thoughts and he couldn't figure out his own personality. It's the scene with where you're up in the tree with the modern Ymir.
Oh yeah. And you're talking about Reiner.
Reiner, yeah, okay.
Well, it wasn't Reiner. It wasn't because it wasn't necessarily because he had different personalities in his head. It's more like he didn't know how to handle being a double spy type of thing.
But I also feel like it was influenced by
the brother,
Titanness,
right? Okay.
And like the past and stuff.
Okay.
So it just, I just feel like it's there's got to be some sort of strong influence in the mix with all this, and then confirmed also by our buddy who is Armin, and him being influenced and having feelings for Annie, right. Which is so random. So I hope that in this episode maybe it'll confirm more of that, the influence in the mind, and maybe Zeke is aware of it. Maybe Zeke is aware of it, and that's why he kind of had a backup plan, just because maybe he knew that that Eren was eventually going to flip on him, in part because of the influences in his head.
Correct. Not to mention that, like you said, if he's got the founding Titan, so like you said, he's got conflicting situations. Like he's got Grisha in one side, that's the closest because that's who he ate. But then you know, he's got the Warhammer Titan in him. He's got obviously the founding Titans, which is the all passed down royal knowledge and things like that. There's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of conflicting ideologies, but at the end of the day, it's still Eren, and it's like, you know, he's going to make the best decision that he thinks. So we'll see what that, because we still don't really know what he was trying to do. So.
Yeah, what's his plan? We still don't know. It's very frustrating, and I'm excited to see.
He'll let us know when the time is right. You know, like he was able to drop that bomb last week. He was like, "Why the hell would I ever agree to that?" I'm like, "All right, man, you go." All right, guys, the full reaction is available on Patreon. Make sure you hit that button, like, subscribe, hit the like button, get them views up. Let us know the best team of Attack on Titan. We may be late, but we're always great. Your latest reaction to the latest episode of Attack on Titan starts now. Is that Zeke or? Oh, okay.
No.
That's Eren. Okay.
Yeah, that's Eren because his mom is blonde.
Right. Carla, sexy Carla. That's the wrong image to be showing Carla. Zeke, I mean, to be showing Eren Zeke, like,
what's with that pouty face?
I know, right? Looking like a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Oh my God, little Eren,
right?
Baby Eren, so cute.
Look at this, Thor and Loki right here. Who's this? Yeah, being a doctor helping people, you dumb shit. Interesting, that's the way he looks at it.
All right,
bullshit.
We're trying to, who are you trying to fool?
He was trying to rush it, like, yeah. He was like, that was quick. He really is kind of like Loki and Thor. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Hans. Oh shit, he is stealing shit from him. Oh shit, Kitty. Oh, so maybe he tried to do that shit real much earlier.
Oh,
but something stopped him.
And that's why it was done when he was much older.
Yeah. Ha. He's like, yeah, you jealous? Zeke. Yeah.
Oh, snap. What?
He can see him.
What?
Holy shit.
Oh!
That's wild.
What? Bearded man. Oh! But how can he? How? He doesn't have the founding Titan. How is that possible? What?
Time travel.
What?
Memories can be influenced.
Yes, please tell us. I'd like to know.
Not yet. Not yet. Born into this world. Yes. Yes. A killer. A killer, son. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Dang. Yo, he's really...
Damn.
Ooh! Burn! But why? I just...
Right. Oh, okay. Ah, yes, the key. Yep.
Wait, does he see him now? What?
I think he does a little bit. Yeah. Yep. Oh, interesting. They redrew it, everything.
Huh.
Yeah, right.
Sure.
Why are you shocked, Zeke? Zeke is just like, oh my god, a family. A normal family.
This is what it's like to have breakfast in the morning?
Right.
With your family?
He's looking at him.
Yeah. What? Wait, so he can see him in that moment too?
I think that was just a creative sort of nod that, yeah, I think he kind of, but he knows exactly what he's about to do. Yeah. Time to go num num on an entire royal family.
They're like, nope. No can do. Sorry. Shit out of luck.
She changed. Yeah, there you go. Founding Titan.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think necessarily on the same page. Not really. What?
Jesus.
Wow.
Oh,
he's pissed.
He's like, that's what. Oh, wow.
Oh, interesting. Oh. Oh. Yo, what is he about to do? What is he doing? Where are you going, Eren? What are you doing?
Oh, wow. You're right.
What?
Right.
Yo, what the fuck is going on? Huh?
Bye. Oh, what?
What? Maybe he uses his Titan with Grisha's Titan, attack Titan. It's an attack Titan thing. And that's how he's able maybe to get into Grisha.
No, I'm pretty sure Eren. Wait, hold up. This nigga is a fucking psycho.
What?
Yep.
Oh my god, he's touching him.
Whoa!
That's so sick, twisted shit.
Yo, that's
so
wild.
Sick. Yo.
Holy shit. I'll keep moving forward. Yo. Wow. That's pretty dope. I killed them all. Even the women and children. I hate them. I hate them all.
Zeke is like, what the
Zeke's
fuck
got that. He's been shocked Pikachu the entire episode.
Yeah.
And there goes, yeah, Grisha. So this is what, so
wow.
I guess, right. So Eren's whole plan was to save Eldia, I'm assuming.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Shit. Oh shit!
Oh shit!
What? Yo, what?
Holy shit! This is crazy.
Epic.
Wow.
And played baseball with you.
He broke him. Maybe. I don't know. Holy shit. Ah! What the fuck?
Wow. I have the power.
He's like, I'm in control, bitch.
Fuck.
No!
There you have it, folks. The latest episode of Attack on Titan. Ooh, that was a big one there. So now we have learned that the Attack Titan was the only Titan of the 9 that could actually oppose the founding Titan, essentially, and also has a particularly special trait that it can see into the future, which goes all the way back to what a long time ago when the owl Eren, the first Eren, we'll just call him for simplicity's sake.
Let's call Owl.
Yeah, the owl saved Grisha and was like talking about Mikasa and Armin and all that, and they're like, huh?
I don't remember that.
It was a very subtle thing. It was like really slight, like he's like, Grisha, you got to do this if you want to save Mikasa and Armin. And he's like, what? Who are you talking about? He's like, I don't know. Maybe it was my memory or a future memory, like that. It was like
what?
Like he just.
How did you remember that? That's amazing.
Because that was one of my favorite moments of Attack on Titan. Like I was not really sold on the new season. I was not really sold on the whole season going away from the simplicity of it until that particular Grisha's story is what got me back into Attack on Titan and like seeing about Zeke and all that other stuff, because it was like I was not feeling the thing with the Marleys and Historia and how it kind of got away from Eren. But when we started seeing Grisha's memories and they finally got into the basement, I'm like, yo, this is a great story. And then the music that plays after that was just amazing. So and you know, that's also where they were like that was the first time they ever said Shingeki, you know, because he's like, I have the power of the Titan we call, and then he's like, and then it goes back to present day with Eren and he's like Shingeki, and then Armin is taking notes the whole time, and that's how they are able to figure out how much time they have. And you know, Armin's like, okay, I got 13 years, and then Eren is like, okay, well, I have about 8 years now. Eren should be about 3 to 4 years left. Armin must have like about 9 to 8 years left, because they time jump by like 4 years, if I remember.
I don't remember.
I think they
I know that they did time jump,
because Zeke was on his last year, I believe. Reiner was about to be on his last year. And everybody else, it doesn't really. I guess Peak has a few years left as well, but they didn't really find a candidate for her yet. I
don't know how many Annie has left.
See, Annie's a unique situation because we don't really know, because she's been frozen for so long. We don't know if that stops her deal or whatever. But yeah, that's a good question as well. Maybe,
what if she's older than she actually plays off to be? What if she's like from ancient times? That's why she's kind of been like this.
Then that's why you thought you just saw her 2,000 years ago. Yeah.
Because possible. I'm like, if she's got the ability to crystallize herself like that, then I guess it wouldn't have an effect on how many years
that's a good question.
Well, and she can like, because I've always been trying to figure out where Annie fits in all of this.
Right.
And I'm just like, all right, well, she didn't fit in with the plan before. And
that's a good question.
The instance prior to that, she's frozen this entire time.
That's a good question. The only
other time she's mentioned is this love connection.
That's a good question. That's it. Well, because also something to just remember also Ymir, not Ghost Ymir, not the OG Ymir, but the fake Ymir. I forgot what her real name was. The one
I forgot too.
But she was the Jaw Titan. Remember, she just went to sleep. She like legit like slept for thousands of years or something. So remember, she was prosecuted by her own people. She turned into a Titan. She got injected with the sorry.
No,
I take that back. Sorry.
She was attacked on the sand.
Yeah. She was attacked. She survived. and then she just decided to walk through the sands of time, just walk and walk and walk. I honestly still think she did meet Ymir in some form or fashion, and then she just decided to sleep forever, and then she was awakened by Marcel, and that's how she inherited the Jaw Titan. Like, she woke up and then ate Marcel, or whatever his name was, in front of Annie, Bertolt, and Reiner. But so never mind. I was gonna say, like, the Titans have the ability to sleep, but no. She covered herself up in sand, and she was able to hibernate that way. But that might be what Annie's doing as well with the crystallized thing. Maybe. And that stops the clock, because remember, the walls on top of that, the walls are all colossal Titans.
Yeah,
the walls are, and they're just hibernating, basically. They're sleep as long as they're covered and the sun doesn't touch them, like gremlins or something, like they don't awake. So yeah, I think you're on to something about Annie being a little bit more than just her just sleeping this entire time. So
yeah, because I'm like, what is going to happen when she comes back? What kind of impact is she going to have in the story?
Now I'm really wondering about, like, I want to go back, like, but the problem is, but the bigger issue is you look up on the internet, and
and then
you'll end up getting spoiled like that, like,
yeah,
because you'll see manga images and all that. But I do feel like there's a lot that gets left out in terms of the Great Titan War, what the Fritz were doing. But so I really want to know what the hell. So Eren's plan is like terrible. Grisha is saying what Eren is planning to do is much worse than everything and anything that anybody else has seen, basically.
I can't imagine.
Right?
I mean, the only thing I could think of that would be worse than euthanizing / sterilizing an entire population would be to just blow everyone up.
That's what I'm thinking. I think
like
he's
some
just
sort of nuclear type of, but with the rumble, it has to be like a nuclear rumble of some sort, something we've never seen before.
I think he's going to fulfill his promise from the second or third episode, where Eren gets up from that boat and he's just crying, and he's just like, I'm gonna kill them all. I'm gonna kill them all, kill all the Titans. But I think it's extending beyond that. Like, he's gonna kill like everybody. I think his plan is actually to take away the power of the Titans for the most part. But before he does that, he's gonna wipe the face of the earth. Like, he's gonna just take care of everybody.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking about like the attack in the internment camp zone.
Okay.
And how he had no problem essentially wiping out his own people, despite them being on the other side, on the other team, technically.
Yeah.
So maybe we should look at it differently now, knowing that he's got some terrible, like, we thought, it was just, he kind of played it off as, it's just casualties, like unfortunate casualties, but like it had.
No, I don't even think he thought that. He was just like, whatever. He was like so like neutered, desensitized to all of it. But something to keep in mind is also, like, it's fresh in my memory, that declaration of war episode was like, he looked at Reiner, he's like, look, I'm just like you, but maybe a little different. Like, just the difference is I'm gonna keep on moving forward until all my enemies are vanquished. That's what he said. He was just like, and that's that they mentioned that in this episode as well. He's like, what are you doing, Dad? You need to keep moving forward. Even in death, you need to keep moving forward. So that's, I'm so like,
now I want to rewatch that episode.
I'm so like psyched on what Eren is planning, because like I can't imagine I'm gonna disagree with what he's doing, but I know that it's probably gonna be super sick, like crazy.
It has to be.
Like,
there has to be, like, maybe like it's a combination of Zeke's power and like rumbling power. Wouldn't that be insane if he like somehow took Zeke's power to do the
it seems that
it
seems that that's exactly what he did. That's
and that, like, all right, everyone that had Zeke's blood has been turned into a Titan. That's a huge part of the population.
Right. What if they could revert it? Yeah.
What if they get to a point where they don't even need to like infect a person's blood?
Oh.
And what if like something with the founding Titan rumbling power mixed with Zeke's power, making something even more horrendous, which would be like activating anyone instantly. Doesn't matter maybe even who you are. Maybe you don't even have to be a Marleyan anymore, or a subject of Ymir anymore.
Maybe
that would be fucking crazy.
Maybe. Well, see, then so again, that's another thing just to also keep in mind is like the only time Eren ever really looked shook about those memories and such was when not Ymir, but the last royal member to have the founding Titan was, and I still believe that that wasn't even the current person speaking when she closed her eyes and she opened
her eye color changed, and you could see her whole demeanor change.
I think that was somebody from years of past and everything, and just talking about how was just talking about how everybody on Eldia, all Eldians should just basically suffer for years of torment and punishing the rest of the world. You know, that can directly contradicts with everything that Eren hates about, so we were born in this world. We were born in this world just to die, born in this world to be a slave suffer. Like that. Like, a slave to other people's choices. Like that completely contradicts everything that Eren believes in. So I think then that was the only time we actually saw him get really emotional, and he was pissed. But he also probably knew that this was his moment, that like is like, yo, this is where I need to step in and actually convince my father to murder everybody.
That was epic. I did not expect that at all. I really, really am so happy that he has this unique power, that it's not just like his physical strength as an attack Titan, but it's something mystical and magical beyond that. I think it's really fun.
What I will say is, while unfortunately that kind of diminished my thought process about Grisha a little bit. Like I thought Grisha was kind of that ride or die dude, but in some form or fashion, he was kind of like it's better development.
He wasn't as strong as you thought he was.
It wasn't. It's better development for him because it shows that he was a doctor. He cares. Like he still kind of had a heart, but it goes against. It still kind of goes against what the owl wanted him to do. Like it was like, because again, he had the chance to end that years beforehand and actually essentially save Eren's mom, save his whole family, possibly. He had a chance to do that early on, and because he didn't, his family did end up eventually dying because of that attack on the wall. How he knew about it, I'm not sure, but I guess he felt it was coming, or he sensed it was coming. I don't know. Or because he could look into the future, so he knew that day was.
I think so. I think he probably tapped into what Eren sees later on.
Right.
It's not. I think it's not just necessarily looking into the future, but I mean, clearly, it's the ability to go back into the past as well, in conjunction with founding Titan powers.
But what I was gonna say was it diminished. It kind of changes my thought process on Grisha a little bit, but at the same time, it also redefines and strengthens my thought process with Eren in the fact that he showed Zeke. He was like, look, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know who the fuck you thought you were talking to, but I ain't him. Like I ain't this sappy little ass brother. Like, yo, I've been killing motherfuckers before I even had any power. But the moment I could pick, like, he was a little psycho, and people tend to forget about that.
I definitely am guilty of forgetting that he was.
Go back and look at that scene. Like, he comes in and he's like, "Sir, I'm cold outside," and then he just stabs the dude. And then when the other dude's like, what the hell? You see the door slowly closing on this little psycho Eren. And like, one of his biggest things was Grisha was like, what did you do? He's like, Oh, I just slaughtered some animals that were pretending to be human. I was like, yo,
I forgot all about that.
You're like, what the hell is wrong with this kid? But I mean, like that, he's always been about that life. So, you know, for him to know this far into the future, that's why I kind of compare him to Light or Kira from Death Note. Was like, he's up here playing. He's 4 or 5 moves ahead of everybody else and just playing it out because he knew eventually it was going to come down to this point where he needed to actually convince his father to murder everybody. That is crazy. Wild, dude. That is some wild. My mind. And then on top of that, there is, and so in some ways, this episode does make Grisha a better person in the sense that you can see that he was actually still suffering about Zeke. He still cared about Zeke, even though Zeke betrayed his ass. And he, you know, even though he didn't do anything with Eren became exactly what Grisha was kind of hoping Zeke would be, but on a more psycho level. That's what's crazy. This is a wild story, dude. The Jaeger family is quite interesting, I think. So yeah. All right. Well, that's it, guys. We're done for today. Make sure you check out the all of our socials. Also, you know, you should actually play Demon Slayer the game. You might like that. That might be a cool little stream actually for you.
The game?
Yeah. Like I was watching Echo Mog play the game. And you know, it basically is still a retelling of the first season, but they changed it up a bit. That it's kind of cool little playable sort of story, and it looks beautiful.
I wanted it. It just hasn't been on sale yet.
Exactly.
And also, I have so many other games to play. That
exactly
I'm like,
what I'm waiting
I'm just gonna wait
because it's nothing new, I guess, but it's still kind of fun to play.
It's the same developers as like the Naruto games.
No, well, I mean, it still looks beautiful, but it's just knowing the story. If you've already know the story, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, well, it's just kind of like a playthrough. Yeah. They need to make a interesting. I don't even know how they would do a Shingeki game anymore. I mean, they've done like 2 or 3, but that was before it went crazy.
Yeah,
like
there's one that actually looks really good. I was watching some playthroughs of it, and it was like you could be one of the guards and stuff, and you have your own. You like create your own character, and then you can like.
But this is when, but you're right. But this is when it was also. This is when it was still a very simplistic story of just ODM.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know how they would handle something like now. Like, what are you gonna do? Just
that would be awesome if they could do something now.
Well, we'll see. All right, guys. Shout outs to KR Presents for recording and I'm sorry, editing and playing with the green screen here, doing all this. I know this one is long. Our discussions are getting longer, and thus the videos when they drop are getting longer to you guys. So our apologies about that. But if you want the episode immediately, make sure you check out the full reaction on Patreon. We'll talk to you guys next week for the next episode of Shingeki no Kyojin. All right, we're out of here, guys. Peace.